Well, just to update you, the suspicious packages look like pipe bombs. You've got Soros's home, Clinton's home, Obama's home, the governor's office here in New York, CNN, Time Warner Center. The report of one going to the White House turns out to be false. CNN reported it. It's not true. It didn't happen. With us right now, Ann Coulter. Now, she's got a new book out. It's phenomenal. Resistance is Futile. All this left-wing resistance, all this, if you want to understand it, get her book, Resistance is Futile, Ann Coulter's best book. Of course, you can get her column, too, and all that. Go to anncoulter.com. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fine, thanks. How are you, Mark Simone?
Very good. So, you know, the idea of this bomber, it's very unusual, a right-wing bomber. It's always a
it's
left-wing.
Never, ever been a right-winger. I mean, maybe that's what this is. I guess we'll find out. But in American history, bombing is a technique used by the left, not by the right. And
only exception,
say, it looks a little...
abortion clinics at like early 80s for a little while. That was about it. That's the only exception I can find.
I'm not defending abortion clinic bombers, but of course, because they are pro-life, they were specifically late at night when nobody was there. And you're right, there were a few little ones to stop a mass murder.
But usually,
they set bombs at the buildings. But back to the Haymarket riots, Obama's pal Bill Ayers, the Unabomber. No, this is a technique of the left. I happen to notice that all of them were detected immediately. What, do they have wires hanging out of them?
Well, I think now in these mail facilities, they got all kinds of explosive detectors. The Secret Service says
not in a George Soros mailbox. His was picked up by just one of the people working at his estate in Westchester with his ill-gotten gains, and that was the first one. And she called the police. That wasn't some fancy post office. Oh, we think it was in his mailbox.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm just color me suspicious based on. For example, my book Demonic about liberal mobs and groupthink. All political violence has come historically in this country from the left. Every presidential assassination attempt that had a political motive, every single one in U.S. history has come from the left. And I'm sorry, I'm not counting the abortion clinic bombings when they do it late at night.
Hey, Nate Silver, the pollster who's always wrong, except one year. He was right once, but that's only because the Obama people shared the internal polling with him. But otherwise, he's always wrong. He says that Democrats have an 85% chance of taking the House.
Well, that was a wonderful little intro for poor Nate Silver.
Always wrong.
I don't... In Nate Silver's defense, partial defense, he's right when he likes the results. I mean, I do think there is a bias that everyone has looking at data and poll numbers, where you want it to be true, and you tend to. In fact, I think Nate Silver has written about this. You tend to discount the evidence that goes against you and put more stress on the evidence that goes for the side you want to win. And look, a big part of the evidence that goes against Republicans picking up the House this year is historically it doesn't happen. There are very few rare examples of the president's party not losing seats in the midterms. I mean, one was right after 9/11. But so, I mean, I guess we'll see. I'm already sort of assuming that Democrats are going to take the House, Republicans will take the Senate, and maybe even pick up a few seats, which isn't so bad because the Democrats will spend. They won't be able to do anything without the Senate. We'll still get our judges confirmed with the Senate. And the Democrats will spend the next 2 years on boneheaded investigations, which will just annoy the public and lead to Trump's reelection.
That's a good point. Yeah, and economists point out if they take the House, it'll be total gridlock, and that gridlock is pro-growth. It's good for the economy. It just freezes everything where it is now, regulation-wise and everything-wise. So it's perfect.
Well, you know why I've often heard this, and it never made sense to me, and then I figured it out. The reason gridlock is good is that Republicans, when they have a majority, as we've seen over the last 2 years, never do anything. They never roll anything back. So there are two modes in American political life. Either the Democrats are passing a lot of crap that's going to wreck the country, or there's gridlock. So, yeah, given those two options, expect the stock market to boom. Good.
Yeah.
Good. The Democrats won't be able to do anything.
And a lot of Wall Street analysts say that that's one reason the stock market might be having trouble right now. A lot of people think the Democrats could take the House, and that's causing this drop in stocks right now. So. Yes,
that I think is true. Well, that's why the Senate is so important, and I hope we do pick up a few seats, which seems possible in place as long as we keep seats. I mean, there are a lot of Republican retirements this year, or McCain dying in Arizona, Senator Flake retiring, Corker retiring. There are about 50 Republicans leaving the House of Representatives. That also makes it very tough for Republicans to hold the House and the Senate.
Hey, Ann Coulter, this caravan is obviously well funded. There's meals for 5,000 every day. We've seen these trucks that shadow the caravan, well-equipped trucks providing food and water. Honduran organizations don't have to, under the law, disclose donors. So it's fascinating how the news media doesn't seem to want to do any investigation of who's funding all this.
No, you're right, and I do think there's certainly good reason to think it's funded by the left, not only because they want to destroy America, so they love these mobs, caravans of poverty-stricken, non-English speaking third worlders pouring into the country, just any time of year. But we also know from the past year, obviously the left, i.e. the media, considers the third worlders crashing our border fantastic for them. That separating children, when it turns out the children weren't related to the people who were claiming to be their parents. Sometimes it was, at least on one occasion, it was a child molester bringing his victim in and claiming, "Oh no, she's my daughter." We have no idea. This is why they started to do DNA tests, and the DNA tests showed that a majority were not related to the parents who were claiming them. This is just, your ticket to get in and have the American media weep over, the children. No, this is your ticket to get into the biggest welfare state in the world that happens to be within walking distance. And I hate to sound like a broken record on, the president's central promise that won him the White House, but this is why we wanted a wall, Mark. You don't want to have to go through this every 3 months. Trump may have not have understood what that slogan meant that was being chanted over and over again at every rally he went to. But the people chanting it knew what they wanted, and it wasn't to move the embassy. It wasn't for a tax cut. It was for a wall. He has full authority to build a wall. That could be something else good we get out of the Democrats taking the House. Maybe Trump will finally build the wall, realizing, oh my gosh, I'm president.
Yeah. I hate to say we're out of time, but if you want to read a really great book, get Ann Coulter's book. If you don't understand all this craziness, these mobs, get Ann Coulter's new book, Resistance is Futile. It explains it all to you. If you've got one of these crazy Democratic friends, buy them a copy. Hand them the book. They need to read it. Resistance is Futile. You go to Amazon or you go to AnnCoulter.com. And the new column comes out tonight, right?
Yes, it does, Mark Simone.
All right, go to AnnCoulter.com. You can be the first to get the new column. Get the book, Resistance is Futile. It's her best book ever. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Good to talk to you, Mark. Bye-bye.
Take care.